Hello and welcome to the LawyerFair Daily Podcast. My name is Andrew Weaver from LawyerFair. Now, if there was a section on our website called Jobs What I Have Had, I would probably, I might include the fact I was once a bicycle courier, which I enjoy thoroughly. And after a beer or two, I might even admit that I was once a waiter dressed as Robin Hood, but that's another story. And I can hear my guest quietly chuckling in the background at the thought of that. But for a good number of years, I've been involved in the corporate deals sector, helping people buy and sell businesses. I'm still involved in that. So it's a subject I have a real interest in. And it's also actually an area of work that LawyerFair is seeing particular growth of inquiries about. So I'm delighted today on our daily podcast to welcome Rufus Bazley from Businessesforsalecom. Rufus, welcome.
Hi, Andrew.
Now, I know your site extremely well, Rufus, because it was a very important channel that we used in our corporate deals service. So, and I'm a great fan of it. I think it's a great channel not only for advisors but actually for business owners themselves who may want to sell independently. So could you just give us a bit of background about the site, what it does, who you work for, and what your reach is?
Yep, no problem. So Businesses for Sale is it's actually a family-run business, so it dates back about kind of 20 years, and we started off as a print publication actually based up in Birmingham. And the way it actually started off is there's two brothers who effectively own the business, and their dad's an accountant, and he used to get approached by people asking if he knew anyone who could sell his business, and he started faxing that around to his friends, and then who were also accountants, and then his friends ended up faxing him business. He'd put together one big fax message and fax that around, and it kind of went from there, and then it became a magazine, and then Andrew Marku, who's our CEO, he kind of finished university, learned about the internet, said there's this great new thing that's kind of happening, and kind of built the very first version of the site himself, and it actually started out as something that was more supportive of the magazine, and then over the years it's kind of grown, and the magazine unfortunately ceased trading a number of years ago now, and now we're in a purely online system. But the best way of thinking of us is we're classified listings, so if you're looking for a business for sale, you come to our site, you type in what it is you're looking for and where you're looking for it, and then hopefully we have a business in that area for you. We've got at the moment it's 64,000 odd kind of businesses listed globally, and we operate in, I think it's roughly 120 countries around the world. We kind of have them, but the UK is our core business. Kind of the UK is where we started, and it's really the majority of our focus.
Well, that's a really interesting history to it. How long's the online platform been going?
So the online platform is about 15 years now.
Okay.
So it's very well established. We ironically we outdate Google.
Oh, right. Okay. They've slightly grown larger than you, but still, it's a nice claim to have, isn't it? I know, Rufus, I have a bit of a bee in my bonnet actually, particularly with smaller businesses, about them using agents, and I don't think they always need to use agents. And one of the things, one of the channels that I think they can use is a service like Businesses for Sale, because you put business owners directly. You essentially connect buyers and sellers of businesses, don't you? Direct, so that they can meet each other. It's essentially a matchmaking service, is it?
Yeah. Very much so. Kind of. There's. I went to a recent. Kind of talk, and someone compared us exactly to a dating site, where kind of the businesses and the potential buyers would be kind of individuals looking to get in contact with each other. I think a matchmaking service is a perfect example for what we do.
Well, I as I say, I had a bit of an issue with this thing, because I always think that some businesses, rather than rushing into the arms of advisors, and I know that advisors and agents use the service, so I'm not wishing to include you in this, but I think that a lot of businesses actually can use your site in advance of contacting agents and advisors, because I think it's a nice way to kind of test the market. I know there's a cost to it, obviously, but I think it's a nice way to test the market. And I think Businesses for Sale, certainly from my experience, was extensive enough in the market to find buyers. So if your business has an appeal and you're on your site, you're going to find out whether there's an appetite to buy your business, because you have such a high volume of traffic and buyer interest.
Absolutely, we do a we call it a private seller product, but that would be for someone looking to sell their business without the use of an agent.
Right.
It is something we promote quite heavily, but we kind of, as you've mentioned, we tread a kind of thin line between kind of not treading on the toes of brokers who I think do have a place for a certain type of business. But you're absolutely right, kind of the low end businesses quite often they don't need a broker involved. So, and that's why we have our private seller product involved.
No, I think listen, there's a place definitely for advisors. My sense is sometimes that businesses, before they go to a broker and incur the costs and the emotion and the hassle of all that stuff, I think Businesses for Sale is a great platform to test the market. That was it. Just out of interest, the private seller product, Rufus, what's the cost of that? What would it cost a business owner to launch on that?
So it's all done on a monthly subscription. So it depends on how long you want to advertise with us.
Yeah.
So we offer a 1 month, a 3 month, or a 6 month product. The 1 month product is £169. The 3 months is £209, and the 6 months is £299. But I'd also like to point out we do offer a limited free trial, which I think is kind of a really worth trying.
Yeah. So listen, there it is.
Testing the waters.
Yeah, there it is.
Exactly.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, Rufus.
Absolutely.
And I'm not. As I say, I'm not here to do down the advisors. But I think I think it's one of those things. If you're thinking about it, you've got a free trial opportunity with Businesses for Sale just to see whether the market is interested. And also, I think the other great thing I found about the site was you get all types of buyers. So you can really test out whether what type of buyer might be interested in your business with with the free trial or even the very low cost 1 month. Rufus, that's really great. That's a really nice introduction to Businesses for Sale, and I appreciate you coming on board. Is there anything that you find that's a little nugget that you can leave us with that's quite useful for businesses to know in advance of maybe coming on the site or selling?
Absolutely. I think when you're creating your listing, make sure you're as honest as you can possibly be. That's kind of my golden nugget. A lot of people kind of exaggerate on particular bits of information, particularly turnover, that kind of side of it. And that's the type of thing that can actually turn the actual transaction can go sour as a result of inflated numbers. So just be as honest as you can when creating your listing.
No, I think that's very wise. The only issue I've found with that is that some people's perception of their business can be very different to the actual reality. So I think sometimes innocently people can rather oversell it. But that's the game, and that's fine. But that's a really useful piece of advice. Rufus, I appreciate you very much coming on board and giving us that background. Thanks so much for joining us.
Not a problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. That was the LawyerFair Daily Podcast. We'll speak to you again tomorrow. Many thanks.